5 feet, 7 inches, that's all he stands. Shorter than the average man walking any street in any city in the world. They said he was too small, that his body would betray his gift, that some dreams are simply too big for some bodies to carry. They didn't know Lionel Messi, and they didn't know what happens when you tell a boy from Rosario that his dream is impossible. But this story almost never happened. Rosario, Argentina, 1995. A city of factories and football, where smokestacks paint the sky gray, and every boy dreams of one day painting it with goals. In the barrio of Las Heras, 8-year-old Lionel Andres Messi plays with his brothers Rodrigo and Matias, his cousins, and whoever else shows up. The ball at his feet moves differently than when others touch it. It stays closer. It listens. His father Jorge works the steel factory floor. His mother Celia cleans houses between raising 4 children. They don't have much, but their youngest son, Leo, has something money cannot buy and poverty cannot steal. At Newell's Old Boys Youth Academy, they call him La Pulga, the flea. It's meant as mockery, this tiny thing that buzzes around the pitch, impossible to catch, impossible to crush. But Leo doesn't hear an insult. He hears a prophecy. Because fleas may be small, but they can make giants itch. The year is 1997. Leo is 10 years old. A routine checkup. His mother has noticed, everyone has noticed, that her son isn't growing like other boys. The doctor's words fall like stones into still water. Growth hormone deficiency. Leo's pituitary gland doesn't produce enough of the hormone his body needs to develop. Without treatment, he will reach a maximum height of 4 feet 7 inches, 140 centimeters, a man trapped in a child's frame. There is treatment, daily injections of synthetic growth hormone, but the cost, $900 to $1,000 every month. Jorge's factory wages won't cover it. Neither will Celia's cleaning work. Not even together. Every night, a ritual begins. Young Leo learns to inject the hormone into his own legs. Left leg, right leg, alternating. The needle is thin, but the weight of it, the weight of what it represents, is enormous. This is not about being short. This is about a 10-year-old watching his dream, the only thing he has ever wanted, threatened by something inside his own body that he cannot control. Some months there is enough money for treatment. Some months there isn't. And time is running out. Jorge Messi becomes something more than a father. He becomes an advocate, a salesman, a man walking into rooms where he does not belong, carrying highlight reels and medical reports, begging for someone to see what he sees. Newell's Old Boys, the club where Leo learned to walk with a ball, says they love him. But love doesn't pay for growth hormones. River Plate expresses interest. Scouts travel to Rosario, watch him play, see the magic. Then they see the medical bills, and they walk away, one club after another. The same answer dressed in different words. Too expensive, too risky, too small. Talent, it turns out, means nothing without opportunity. And opportunity costs money nobody is willing to spend on a boy whose body refuses to grow. But even as doors close, even as adults whisper about giving up, Leo keeps training, keeps injecting, keeps believing, because he knows something they don't. Something he will spend the next 2 decades proving. 3,700 miles from Rosario, a different kind of football cathedral rises. FC Barcelona. More than a club, they say. But for one desperate family from Argentina, it's more than that. It's a last chance. Through a family connection, an agent arranges what no one else would: a tryout. Carlos Rexach, Barcelona's sporting director, agrees to watch this unknown Argentine boy, mostly as a favor. What Rexach sees in the next few minutes changes everything. This tiny child, 4'6", drowning in an oversized jersey, moves through defenders like water through fingers. The ball doesn't leave his foot. It breathes with him. Rexach watches a boy do things that grown professionals cannot. He tells Barcelona's board, "Sign him, now, before someone else does." But the board hesitates. The boy is too young. The medical bills are too expensive. The risk is too great. They want to wait. Rexach refuses to wait. On December 14, 2000, at a tennis club in Barcelona, with no contract paper available, he grabs a napkin. On it, he writes, "We agree to sign Lionel Messi, provided we are in agreement with his terms." And then, the part that matters most, Barcelona will pay for all of Leo's medical treatment. Every injection. Every month. For as long as it takes. A dream, written on paper so thin it could tear in the wind. That napkin now sits in Barcelona's museum, worth more than most masterpieces. February 2001. The Messi family moves to Barcelona. Briefly, Celia, Rodrigo, Matias, Maria Sol, they try, but the money runs out. Life calls them home. One by one they return to Argentina, until only two remain, Jorge and Leo. And soon, Jorge must return for work too. Leo, 13 years old, barely speaking Catalan or Spanish, is alone. Every night he calls his mother. Every night he cries. He misses Rosario, misses his grandmother's cooking, misses the potreros where football was joy, not pressure. He misses being known. And every night, alone in his room, he takes the needle and pushes it into his leg. No father to guide him now. Just a boy, a syringe, and a dream he refuses to release. Teammates will later remember him as the quiet one, the one always practicing, the one who never complained, never explained, just worked. This is the price of the dream, and Leo pays it, night after night, in silence. The treatment works. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, Leo is growing. He will never be tall. His final height will reach 5 feet, 7 inches. But it's enough. His body is becoming proportionate, strong, and something else is happening, something the doctors didn't prescribe. His low center of gravity, once a limitation, becomes a weapon. Defenders cannot knock him off the ball. His legs, strengthened by years of injections and training, accelerate in ways physics seems to discourage. His balance defies explanation. He rises through Barcelona's youth, ranks faster than anyone before him. Coaches don't just see talent, they see something they cannot name. Something that makes them stop their conversations mid-sentence when he touches the ball. The boy too small is becoming something else entirely. The boy they overlooked is becoming impossible to ignore. October 16, 2004. Lionel Messi steps onto the Camp Nou pitch as a first-team player for the first time. He is 17 years and 114 days old. The youngest player to represent Barcelona's senior squad in over a century. Defenders see his size and smile. They target him, shoulder him, hack at his ankles. Every match, the same strategy. Hit the small one, and he'll break. Every time he falls, he gets back up. Every time. May 1st, 2005. His first goal. A chip from Ronaldinho, the best player in the world, finds Messi, who lifts it into history. Watch Ronaldinho's reaction. He doesn't just celebrate. He stares, because Ronaldinho knows, in that moment, he is watching his own successor. April 18, 2007. Against Getafe, Messi picks up the ball in his own half and runs. 60 meters, 5 defenders. He doesn't pass. He doesn't stop. When the ball hits the net, the comparisons begin immediately. Maradona's goal against England, 1986, the goal of the century. Until now, the student had arrived, and the masters were taking notes. What follows is not a career. It is an era. In 2012, he scores 91 goals in a single calendar year. A record that had stood for 4 decades falls to a man still told he's too small to dominate. 8 Ballon d'Or awards, 4 Champions League titles, over 800 career goals, 350 assists, numbers that don't fit on trophy cases, numbers that rewrite history. And in 2022, the World Cup. The final piece. The trophy Argentina had waited generations for. The trophy Messi had dreamed of since before his body would let him dream. Still 5 feet, 7 inches. Still shorter than 85% of professional footballers. Still too small. Still unstoppable. He never forgot. Through his foundation, he funds treatments for children facing what he faced. He visits hospitals. He kneels beside beds. Because he remembers what it's like to be small and scared and full of impossible dreams. From a diagnosis that predicted 4 feet 7 to a legacy that towers over every record ever set. Lionel Messi did not become great, despite his size. He became great because everything about his journey, the injections, the rejections, the loneliness, taught him something no academy ever could. That limitations are invitations. That no is only the beginning of the conversation. That the size of the dream matters more than the size of the dreamer. They called him the flea. They said he was too small. They were right about his height. They were wrong about everything else. Never let anyone tell you you're too small to dream big. Lionel Messi, 8 times Ballon d'Or winner, World Cup champion.